afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane. We are over here to another exciting 1 vs 1 on Langaraskaya. Yes, indeed, the fields of Langaraskaya, where the Americans apparently are, apparently are somewhere else in Belgium. An awfully Russian-looking place in Belgium. It's probably the bad part, which means, well, all of it, doesn't it? At least if you listen to Monty Python, anyways. Rather than arriving, though, we're seeing immediate choice of airborne mode for once over, fighting for the United States of America. Taking on here for the 1st Armored Division, going up against DevM. Yes, indeed, DevM has seemingly returned with Spearhead, Mechanized Assault, and Assault Support. Fighting for Germany, for the Reich. Rushing ahead here for the Kampfgruppe Siegfried. Or something like that, anyways. And hiccups. Another one. And also noting quickly in bulletins, he's got a Tiger bulletin. He's also some infantry bulletins. Same here, almost, except with an anti-tanker bulletin here for 1-0. And of course, also considering he's got lots of Tigers, anyways, it could indicate he might be playing for Tigers. Thus, might in fact play for a slightly older company heroes tactic, which he might, of course, or strategy, which he of course might be more familiar with, is playing for Tigers, going for the heavy tier 1, tier 2. That could very well happen then. Could very well happen. Certainly a possibility. Of course, also a good choice though of a Tiger bulletin. He's gone for the one that gives veterancy, which generally tends to be when it comes to vehicles. You want the veterans one, the other one simply won't have any actual effect if you were to inquire me in most cases. Whereas veterancy, of course, means you basically get more experience faster, which of course means you quicker get to the good parts. So that's a really good move there. But you're seeing a lot heavy gun this side here from DevM, by the way. Back to 1-0, of course, him with a heavy infantry start with lots of riflemen, lots of GIs. With their M1 Garands.
Got a rifle squad waiting for orders.
Quick engagement here, riflemen popping over. 25 from the Grenadiers, quickly managing to the house. Breaking in the door. Grenadiers repeating the trick of another building though. You know, it's rude to kick in the door where someone already is signs. This is war, I don't think we care about that. Well, we do. I think it's the Geneva Convention or something. Really? Maybe. Maybe it's in the Relic Convention, I don't know. And it's got lots of grenadiers here versus one rifle squad here. Good position here though. I mean, the gentleman here, of course, taking most of the fire here from the broader side, though it's actually only got 3 windows, so that helps a bit. And then we got the other grenadiers here firing down in the rifle. In fact, in a bit of bad position, there's only really exits here and here, which means that when they try to get out, they will come under some pretty serious observation fire here from the Germans. And there we go, getting out in the front door, and quickly there we go. In fact, we could see a heavy loss here for 1-0 in the start. Ah, he gets it away! Run, Forrest, run! Quickly shifting on into the building to get up a few more shots. But a bit of a shame that he might did get that Akudaz when a good start there for DevM. Quickly follow up there with the Lieutenant. Pretty standard there. I mean, getting 3 riflemen then following up with the Lieutenant. Very standard build order for the Americans. Some might go for 4 riflemen and Lieutenant. Some might go for a captain instead, but overall, 3 riflemen lieutenant, very sort of solid build order, gives you a decent amount of firepower early on to sort of react to a lot of things. DevM with a 3 grenadier squad, MG42, sort of start up. Also recently before, though most would go for 2 grenadiers and then the MG. And we're seeing here a bit of a classic move on Langaraskaya, or Langares, of course as DevM would have known it. We're going for the cut-off point here. And laying down the MG42, though, of course, I mean, he's trying the Langray pin, which, on Langaraskaya, isn't quite as easy, because they did a lot of things to make it actually a lot more difficult, since it was otherwise a reasonably easy move here. So in this regard, I mean, he'll still be able to hold it, but it's not going to be so easy, and he can't easily pin his opponent to the base. I mean, there's more exits now as well. So in that regard, it's a bit more risky move here by DevM, and of course, he might be a bit newer here, and of course, not be quite aware of this. Grenadiers are forced away. Could he get the squat? That was certainly a bit of an awkward situation. No, there we go. Full retreat, full retreat. Lieutenant arrives there with a BAR and the Thompson submachine gun, coming up with the Grenadiers. Quickly getting off a series of good shots there. Dropping Günther like a sack of spoiled potatoes. Ooh, could he get... There we go. MG gunner down there. Goes suffering heavy losses. Devin will have to pull back. He might actually want to move up the Grenadiers, so unless he's actually targeting this bit MG specifically, the rifle might focus down the Grenadiers instead. ensuring the MD42 doesn't get cleared up, but that's a bit late now. Securing points there, but he might have to pull back here nonetheless, because all now the front line is crumbling. DevM can't really maintain things here. Most of his forces have already run back towards, well, something approximating Germany anyways. At least he might try to get to this point neutral, but I mean, he needs to get out of there schnell. You're seeing like to make this company up here, so a rather swift take up here from DevM, having sort of made for a rather aggressive push. I mean, he gained a lot of territory, then he went here. I mean, in that regard, he might not even gone for the Langre pin, or Langre square pin, as I might call it, but basically just going for a pressure point move that is drawing away all forces from elsewhere in the map to sort of try and defend here, buying himself more time to sort of get his forces and taking out a bit more safely without having to worry about all terrain. Though we do now see Wadso is quickly getting back in the fight. Striking here towards the car point, not a bad move, but we do see the MD42 ready to sort of put a stop to that nonsense. Quick follow up there with a bunker. Ooh, MD42 there, a bit poorly set up there by DevM, a bit risky, but looks like he might do it, but nonetheless managed to enter that point neutral. And we're seeing here a very sort of aggressive move there by one, so he actually goes for the AA half track. And he must be feeling very confident. We do see that a scout car has arrived here for DevM. Might get the 222, in which case he might have a chance here versus the AA half track. That's him going to be laying down a vicious amount of firepower there versus DevM Soldaten. Scout car advances. Points there secured. Tools enforcing, getting healed. And there you go, we got the 222 up there, but the 2 centimeter Kampfwagenkanone. Bit of fun there. Currently though, I mean, DevM does have a slight advantage here. Most of the units here aren't veteran, thus they don't have access to anti-tank grenades, which would give his scout car a bit more chance of doing a nasty amount of damage there to the infantry. But there we go, we got the A half track arriving here. A slightly more vicious variant from the court mount. Pioneer's about to get versus building. I'm not entirely sure why he went that way. He could have taken a broader path there if he wanted to go for the fuel point. Instead, he's actually exposing there to find. Looks like DevM realised what's going on there. At the same time, he had a good move here. Quite common to use a reverse move track to enter the field of battle here with the AA half track, since, well, you know, he can't shoot forwards. Not a lot of vehicles are actually designed like that, although there are actually a few sort of, well, armoured vehicles that actually designed like that in a sense. I mean, for example, a British tank destroyer which actually fired rearwards with its, well, 17-pounder gun. Little fun fact there. Little fun fact there.
Boys, you ready to roll out?
Airborne dropping in here. No Pathfinders. A bit of a shame there. I think Pathfinders would have helped him a bit early on, but just me. We've got the MD40 getting flanked. Also, we do have a slight chance of actually, if he can get in here, he can actually attack the A half track from the front. In the end, though, the MD40 was cleared out by some, well, pretty serious one here from the A half track. It's 37mm auto cannon and the dual 50 calibers. Pack 40 arriving here, good choice. Just like versus the AA half track, of course, also deal with any other vehicles that might arrive here to reinforce once over further. He could try and flank about here and get it from the front. I mean, this is really basically the sweet spot when dealing with this when it comes to sort of lighter skinned vehicles like the 222.
Waiting orders. Krauts are sniffing around our asses. Tactical point being captured.
Rather than sent running.
Target secure. Got us at 30. Boys, a capture point is being overrun. Boys, you ready? Heavy truck, ready for orders.
Once they're secured. And we've got the ambulance moving up there to support. And there you go, we do see me a bit bold here. Right here, though, I think they've made a slight tactical mistake. He should have closed in there on the front and basically sort of was hard for it to get away. Instead, he actually had gained once enough sort of room to actually ensure he can just easily turn around there, go up. In which case, he suddenly gets the advantage versus DevM's 222. Still, he managed to do a bit of damage there and ultimately force it away. So it's not all bad there for DevM, but I think that was a bit of a missed opportunity right there, if I were to say so myself. And here we actually see an interesting move. We actually see bazookas research here for once over. Bazookas. We see it looks like he's shifting a one at a time to each squad, thus ensuring that each rifleman squad does possess some light anti-tank capability, but not at the same time hurting them too much. Of course, another option could have been basically just giving the rear echelon troops dual bazookas and in that way dealing with them. In this case, he's actually going for a wide spread of bazookas, ensuring that no matter where the 222 strikes, he has a chance of basically sending it running back. So that's a very interesting decision then, of course, versus armor. He might also have some slight challenges there. So a bit rare there to sort of see bazookas, I must admit. But there we go, running change to the MD-42, not necessarily the wisest of ideas there. But there you go, bazooka shot connects with the 222. So there are pioneers at hand, and we also know it's very close to reaching Infantry 2. Almost got it there. That could be very bad news for DevM if he loses that too quickly. We got the airborne there, equipped with browning up machine guns, further increasing the amount of firepower, of course. And just suppose in that sense, it might, of course, be more easy going for bazookas and rifle because the lieutenant and the airborne might be expected to do most of the heavy infantry pushing, though the rifle of course, still provides some firepower. But there we go, in the end, he got the AA half at the Panzerkanone, sent it spiraling straight into the munitions point. That machine gun's been equipped, now taking the slight advantage versus the rifleman. Under the right condition, yes. Partly because they're not in cover, and the riflemen are. Looks like they've maybe got a bit better. Go see Panther goes running for DevM. Airborne lieutenant moving in there. Panther's there quickly suffering under such vicious fire, and at the same time the scout of course was the rifleman with the bazooka move up. I finally cast net there by once over. Popping over to DevM. And all this fighting, he's a bit short on infantry, those quick to replace the losses. And also quick to do his most here with the 222. Getting a few kills there with the MMT and the Autokanone. Laying down a nice amount of pressure there versus the advancing Americans. Oops. Grenade there from the paratroopers, didn't quite do as much as hoped. And there you go. More light machine guns up here for DevM, further increasing his firepower as well as the infantry. That's certainly going to make things a bit more awkward for once over. Still once over though, it's holding a nice chunk of the map at the moment. So he doesn't have as such much to worry about at the moment. He's still got plenty of options for striking back. And we also note here an anti-tank gun has been airdropped in. He might be getting a bit more worried that DevM might be taking up, I suppose. At the same time, there doesn't seem to be any movement towards taking up from DevM, sadly. A quick move towards a support armor company might actually work out. Maybe an Ostwind early on sort of punish the infantry. Also now getting bazooka for the lieutenant. Interesting, interesting. Not a lot of people actually upgrade the lieutenant, which I think is a bit of a miss, but actually upgrading with the bazooka. Fascinating. Telemine up here as well. Good, good. Could try and harass once over's fuel point a bit there, just sort of try and slow down the fuel going in there for once over. In particular, he's at both fuel points himself for some time. There you go, telemines. Should help a bit there. But already there, good strike there. There's the armoured car from the anti-tank gun there. Panther's advance here, quickly encountering some larger issues here with the reassuring troops and the rifleman there, but there you go. Looks like he might be able to get them. There we go. Sent running. Paratroopers a bit of a problem here versus two grenadier squad, including one with a light machine gun. And Panzers here might have a chance of getting the rifleman there with a quick geballte Ladung. Otherwise, they might want to consider actually getting away from there. Going for the cut-off point again, trying once more to sort of apply some pressure force. Once so to pull back his feelers a bit, if you will.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Instead, though, it does get a bit punished there, and the Panthers also failed due to a lack of any serious munitions. The Grenadiers on the left flank, though, making good progress over the light machine gun. Scout almost done. He might have wanted to just retreat the Pioneers and force them, then moving them back for repairs. That would probably be faster. There you go. Riflemen do make a mistake. They actually got a bit out to him. Then they're low on health. The Scout car could actually try and close in and get a killing blow. Oh, never mind, never mind. Close, but not quite, not quite. And no incendiary armor piercing round here for the MD-42 either, which could have maybe delivered the killing blow as well. But now we see actually an interesting development here for DevM. He's actually going for a sniper now. Not usually you see snipers at this point in the game, but looks like DevM is wanting some Scharfschütze to provide some hot lead lobotomies to the Americans. Ja, ich could have been a brain surgeon, But instead I decided to blow out brains with a rifle. Nice rifle grenade here. Nice job there, nice job there. Veterans in free. In fact, that's going to prove an obstacle there for once over. Still say some incendiary arms around here could be a good job for them before that can really do a lot of damage to an infantry caught in it. And sadly no attempts to really deep flank here and get the fuel point either from DevM at the moment. Grenadiers, night cover versus airborne, not in cover. He might want to get some support or sneak up here with a rifle grenade. Ambulance moving up. We've seen maybe here, so armor is going to be inbound here for once over soon enough. Same time we got the sniper. He's not quite there yet. Looks like DevM's not ready to use him maybe. Oh, nice little grenade there. He actually trying to catch him on retreat there. In fact, sort of bluff him into thinking he was hitting the squad, but actually flew a bit further. Well done there. Very close to coming to fruition there. That could have been absolutely tragic there for DevM's men. Headshot precisions here with the rifle and bazookas. Going to make it a bit difficult to approach here. In particular for the armor carts, there's a lot of bazookas there, plus the anti-tank gun. That's definitely going to make things very difficult for any light vehicle there. You might actually want to consider getting a mortar up here. Well, I think a well-positioned mortar could lay down a lot of pressure here upon once over his defensive positions. Oh, he might want to consider a doctrine. That might help a bit here. I mean, he's not chosen one. It's almost 20 minutes into the game, so it might be time to consider something. I mean, assault support with a strafing run could do work here. Mechanized assault with its artillery barrages, maybe the Stugi could have a bit of work here. Spearhead with its mortar halves could in fact also be quite helpful. I mean, there are a few options there. Part of me would also just like to see him tag up and maybe, you know... No, he's very much aiming for the Tiger. We got the M8 Scott there arriving, ready to apply some artillery to DevM's position. Of course, DevM will be lacking. Of course, he's got the sniper here applying good attritional pressure. MD-40 there closing the glass rifle charging in as well. Veteran through the scout car. This is Arbeit. There you go, got the rifle moving in there. M8 Scott moving up. A bit of a bold move, but looks like Wanzo might be feeling a bit bold here, trying to get the sniper maybe with a good high closer shot. Then we've got the Lieutenant moving up the verse of the Grenadiers, but charging straight into the light machine gun. And with the bazooka in tow, that actually increases the anti-infantry up of it. But there, ooh, there we go. Forced away, in particular since the Lieutenant already had died, in fact, so the lack of submachine gun. Here trying to creep up the anti-tank gun. DevM definitely feeling a bit manly here. Exposing the anti-tank gun, but there you go. Sniped, you got the building, can further apply pressure here. Good tactical move there. A bit more support would have been great, in particular if he had a bit of artillery support. Actually getting a second sniper here. Actually, you might want to wait for that sniper and just wait a bit more so we can actually quicker call in a Tiger tank. Ah, Scheiße! They all died. And they dropped the light machine gun. So now I think getting the second sniper there might in fact have been a slightly silly idea there by DevM. He's getting one fuel, probably losing the one here to the rear echelon troops. He might want to actually dispatch the armored car to quickly harass them and, well, tear them apart. I mean, he's not going to have much to do here anyways in the sense that there's simply too many bazookas and the anti-tank gun. I mean, that's going to be a kill zone for any light-skinned vehicle like the 222. Got it primed down. And there goes Tactic moving forward. Oh, Scheiße. Of course, got the sniper as well, applying good pressure here, sniping away, increasing the manpower drain here. And that's probably what DevM is aiming for. In fact, he cleared out the anti-tank gun there with a few well-placed sniper shots there. So clearly it's some heavy attrition here that DevM is now sort of hoping to get with those two snipers. An instant short chip. There you go, he actually took a pantry. Oh, he lost the pantomime as well. DevM is actually suffering some heavy loss himself now, which might actually neglect or negate any attritional damage he managed to make. In fact, he's extremely short on infantry too. This is terrible. Unless he gets a squad wipe down, this is going to be getting very ugly very quickly. In fact, he didn't get a squad wipe there either. And there we go. 222 there went down to the Scot. Very bad news there for DevM. Shot on infantry too. Though of course DevM is not quite that easily phased, but still, it's looking a bit grim. But I imagine he's still going to be in there for the Tiger, die Tiger. To support the Kampfgruppe. And time for the mid-game analysis. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Current damage is slightly favourable to DevM. Kill-wise, he's also a bit there in favour, though of course he's just suffered some heavy squad losses, so it's not quite as straightforward as it might be for DevM. I mean, there's currently a very good chance here for 1-0 attack to push forwards again and apply a lot of damage. I mean, he's got most veteran units here. In fact, he's not quite suffered as heavily. He's got bazookas, BARs, Brownings, anti-tank guns, artillery. I mean, he's got a lot of it, and he can probably call in some tanks as we are speaking already. In fact, he might be doing it. No, not quite though. I would have expected that. But anyways, back to DevM. So I mean, that's already there a problem as well for DevM. I mean, he's got facing now a larger infantry force with artillery support in the form of armor as well. He's only got one infantry squad and a lot of support and some snipers. It's going to be a bit of a problem here for sort of DevM to dig out. And of course, going for the Tiger might provide the help there and the solution. If he aims for it now, without sort of dilly-dallying, he might apply the sufficient pressure here versus once over, kill some infantry, and such in particular he flanks actually with it from a proper angle. I mean, for example, catching right here with the Tiger, knocking out the Major and the ambulance could in fact prove quite devastating. Plus he might get some good shots down retreating units, while then, for example, pushes forward here with the sniper and infantry from the front. I think that could actually prove to be a good manoeuvre there from DevM that could actually crush once over here, because once over spare point is very much centered around here. So if you can somehow catch that off guard and knock it out, that's going to be GG, I think. But it's going to be very difficult with a lack of infantry, even with the Tiger. I mean, if he doesn't have the sufficient infantry, it's going to be difficult to pull off. So it's going to be a bit tricky, but overall, I mean, if he gets a Tiger, he's going to be able to pressure, of course, once over. But of course, it's going to be a problem, because the response will likely then be a Jackson from once over. In fact, looking at once over, I mean, again, he's also got plenty of bazookas. He's got the anti-tank guns. I mean, while the Tiger won't be deeply harmed, at the same time, it can't be too easy taking things too easy either, because again, it will be faced with a lot of rockets. Plus, we've got rocket strafes available as well, and that's also going to be a problem there for DevM, though. Who knows? He might not be aware. So he's not going to be completely caught unpantsed by DevM if he gets hit by a Tiger. I mean, he's probably aware again of the, quite fanciful German metagame currently, which again to a large extent lies on Tigers. Of course, I mean, he's going to be ready for that. Even if he's lacking a Jackson, he's going to be able to at least threaten DevM to sort of pull back. You should probably try and apply more pressure on the flanks though, and also a bit more on the right flank. I mean, currently DevM is absolutely terrible at holding territory. Again, he's probably in fact doing that as well. He should probably though soon enough consider aiming up for some heavier armor though, because even then, I mean, with this, I mean, he's never going to be able to kill the Tiger, I think, or not unless DevM all of a sudden suffers an aneurysm or something like that. I think he's a bit too young for that. We also got an LMG-40 here dropped here, which he might want to consider picking up to sort of further augment his firepower. So that might be something to consider as well. But let's put back to the fight here and see how this actually evolves. We've of course got the dual snipers here. 6 and 10 kills. Anti-tank gun fire, light machine gun fire, and of course light artillery fire here from the M8A1. Oh, there we go. Looks like he got a unit there, and it was the lieutenant, I believe. He lost the lieutenant there to a rifle grenade. Finally, something's going a bit more forwards in DevM's favour. Finally, something that approaches equivalency. Natural squad wipes. And at the same time, you got the Tiger here arriving. The Tiger. Dispatched from a nearby Schwerer Panzerabteilung to provide support here and crush the Americans. Shots there from the M8A1 as well. Dual snipers, you need to be careful that close in that kind of area. I mean, if that M8 gets off a good shot, I mean, that's going to be 2 dead snipers, in which case DevM's going to be a very, very sad DevM. They've got the Tiger charging forwards, barreling through like some corporate mascot. Bouncing off shells and shots. And they've got another unit sort of wiped out there. Now DevM is sort of getting back in the game here. Now he needs to use the sniper attack to try and clear out the anti-tank gun. Maybe an incendiary arm position round, in fact, or explosive round there could do the trick. Shoot! And the faster you can get that thing away, the faster it's going to be less of a threat here to the Tiger. Come on, one more volley. Arm people still going through here. But they're going to tank gun down. Now is really the time for DevM to strike. But there we go. Once over, crawls in the United States Air Force to sort of try and bail him out of this. Also, a little neat thing you can generally sort of see here. There's a slight aura, but you can actually see where it's sort of they strafe around the top of the target right here. Also, note its attack's been modified. Now it calls in 2 strafing runs. Or 2 aircraft. They do less damage though individually, but still, you know, together they might also make things a bit more impressive and also give a bit more chance of actually hitting, but at the same time that must be directly devastating. But overall, I think the intent is to get a bit more out of them. Right, the Tiger falls away there. The United States Air Force saves the day. It also gives a bit more of that feeling, you know, of the United States Air Force being much more dominant. With the Germans, you might see 1 aircraft. With the United States, you get 2. The Walmart of the Air Forces or something, I don't know. We got the AA gun here trying to do a bit. There's going to be a bit limited what you can do there. With just an MG-42 on a tank. But there we go, the Luftwaffe strikes rapidly und streift durch die Yankee Schweinhund. He's still lacking infantry though. I mean, it's basically down to this one heroic grenadier squad where you have Iron Crosses leading the charge here while the snipers backs them up. And there we go, though, finally some proper grenadiers arriving. I mean, another thing, DevM might want to attack to getting up an orbital blitz. I mean, he went for assault support, but he's pretty much only using the Tiger and the strafing run, which overall I might describe as a suboptimal usage of the commander. So there might be something for him to consider getting an orbital blitz, or maybe an officer, but orbital blitz to certainly get more fuel and munitions, which will certainly speed up Tigers and, well, strafing runs. But there you go, once over, basically with the air strafing run there, bought himself sufficient time to get himself out of Jackson there. Apparently just shot that. Well, I think the American air pilots had a slight tendency of firing their munitions afterwards on the way home wherever they wanted, which occasionally I think led to the bombing on French villages actually. But Jackson on the way here, grenades in a bit of trouble. Snipers, both veteran too though. 16 kills, 22 kills. I mean, it's definitely keeping up pressure that way on once over. But the Scot, there's definitely proven to be a massive threat here as well to DevM though. So it's not quite as easy for him as one would like. But we do know, I mean, DevM could try and apply some pressure on the...
Tank destroyer is ready.
Pressure! Not pleasure! Oh dear. On the flanks! Yeah. It's a bit late here, so my apologies. My tongue seems to be twisting up more than usual, which might makes things awkward. But there you go, the Tiger's heading. Oh, sniper went down as well. I mean, right here, definitely a bit of a mistake there. I mean, getting things so close to the Tiger. The Tiger is going to attract a lot of fire no matter what. So that was definitely a bit of a mistake there by DevM, and that cost the life of one good sniper. In fact, it was the one with the most kills. In fact, now we see the Tiger forced to pull back. We need to apply pressure from the flanks, not pleasure to the flanks.
Just came in. Listen up, listen up. Crowd infantry. Ready to go.
Airborne there being held up for a while, but that's probably not going to last long. Of course, now we also sort of see maybe a slight problem here with Jester going for one Tiger. I mean, it makes it a lot easier for basically for one so to quickly lock down. There's also still a pack here from DevM. I mean, it's beginning to look a bit hazardous here for that one single Tiger, even in the hands of someone like DevM. By the way, he should consider getting more than one Pioneer Squad to do it. I mean, one Pioneer Squad is not effective for repairing a Tiger tank.
Just got a report of an infantry unit being wiped out.
We do hear another unit wiped out though. Now continuing to get those kills. And using what can the M42 but no sign of incendiary armor piercing rounds though. No sign of those. Bet you 2 here for the howitzer. Need to get more pioneers, DevM. Du brauchst Pioniere! Oh, is he calling in another strafing run? Apparently. He's trying to get the Tiger. He's trying to keep more pressure up here on DevM. But the problem is that they still need to be able to see what's going on before they can actually do anything about it. Oh! No! He called it in by accident! What? What? Huh? I think it's all the way up here. What's that all about? Or did I miss something? Well, that's bloody odd. Oh well. Oh no, it's... never mind. I mean, I apparently have to get a bit more used to that, by the way, though. He seems actually managed to strike close into the German base, actually keeping the Tiger completely in there. But again, nice strike, in fact, breaking up a hole to the base. Better fee on the ND-42, though. That's grand. Pack 40 here, another one. He should have gotten another Pioneer, though. That would have gotten that Tiger back and fight faster. They're getting massacred. In fact, you see here that 1-2 is getting very bold. In fact, setting out a retreat point here by the victory point. In fact, also, fun fact, locking it down as their specialty fleet. You can actually lock down a point. And there you go, though. The Luftwaffe strikes again, flying in between Allied aircraft. See the Major actually pulling back a bit there. Maybe realising his position is a bit awkward. Veteran 3 for 1 sniper. He's got plenty of fuel, but the problem is the manpower again. I mean, what little force he has is constantly force reinforced because they're getting torn apart. Trying to get the Scott here. Could he get it? Could he get it? Nope. Pop smoke there, gets away. And then current manpower rates, I mean, we're going probably looking at about 3 to 4 minutes before DevM, if he doesn't even have to reinforce anything, can get another Tiger, which he probably wants to get as soon as possible. And he needs to be seriously careful with that sniper. I mean, he's ready to just die. Another pin there. Lurching the Tiger forwards a bit. Grenadiers too close. They're too close. And they paid the ultimate price. Again, he's getting a bit more aggressive with the support weapons because he's got nothing else to be aggressive with. Almost getting the American armor there. ND4 taking things down. He should get some incendiary fuel rounds up to sort of increase the damage against all of these units. But there you go. He got the anti-tank. He got one of the anti-tank guns down. That bought DevM a bit of time and a bit more breathing space. As we do still see he's applying a lot of pressure here to 1-2's forces. All the way back to DevM here. Jackson moving with the Tiger there. Close to getting the Tiger though. Close. Anti-tank's been pulled back for enforcement and repairs, ensuring he can't support and keep the Tiger covered. Got the grenadiers over the Panzer rate, which might provide pressure there. There you go, we see here that once I was going for a large assault, he probably sends some weakness here from DevM. And again, his lines are utterly extended. He's completely ignoring the flank because so utterly focused on DevM's Tiger and the infantry, in particular the snipers in that regard. I mean, the sniper and the Tiger provide a very tantalizing target, which in the end probably are what's keeping the rest of DevM's territory safe. Basically by acting like such a huge magnet for once there was, forces. Which is certainly always a possible thing. He's trying to strike back here, and that M8 Howitzer is definitely proving to be quite lethal. The only thing that's keeping up the killing more than that is the sniper. Ach du Lieber! He just got the Grenadier squad with the Panzer and the light machine gun. DevM's infantry is just getting ground into the dirt. .40 kills there. And he's getting a second time. He's not getting a Tiger. He should be setting up for another Tiger at the very least, not another sniper. Ach du Lieber. Got the mention of the MD-40 here doing something, but he seems extremely reluctant to try and use any armor piercing rounds, which is a bit of a shame here. Jackson's got on the flank here, trying to get the Tiger. Ooh, lucky there, the anti-tank was not ready in position to sort of stop the Jackson. We got the MD-40 getting shot by the Scot. DevM is in a... Oh, he cancelled the sniper. In fact, looks like he might be getting the sniper. There we go, veteran fee for the Pack 40. Very close to getting the Scot. He's in fact got the second Scot here, realising he probably doesn't need much else to deal with the Tiger at the moment. Feeling confident he just needs to collect the support weapons, maybe, and the sniper for that matter.
Our opponents are seizing a
So we're seeing here rather confident once over, though of course there might be fresh confidence for DevM once the second Tiger hits. There you go though. Jackson moving forward, pounding here, Tiger pulling back, there you go, second Tiger arriving. No armor piercing rounds here for the Jackson though, that can certainly help further. Tiger there, heavily damaged. And there goes, shots going off to Jackson. Second Tiger arriving. In fact, he's got no Pioneers left too. Fragmentation bombing run available. And there we go, the United States Air Force once more called into duty. And the rockets striking anti-tank guns, fences and shrubbery. Watching another rifle squad that wiped out, another veteran unit here. There we go, a bazooka left behind as well. We are seeing here that once over service also something a bit of attrition here, but probably nothing to the same extent as once over. Barely any used infantry left on both sides, though once over still enjoying a march. There we go, we got the P-47 swooping above like vultures or hawks. And oh, clever, clever! Look what he did there. He actually switched the cruise out, getting Betchy to immediately on the Jackson. Oh, a bombing run here as well. I think he got the airborne. More heavy losses inflicted. Almost got the Major and the ambulance as well. I mean, this is getting very heavy-handed. He still needs manpower for the Pioneers, though, but still, good move here that he actually made. He shifted over the cruise lane, showing the Jackson that veteran too close to veteran 3, which means overall it would be much better suited for dealing with the Tigers. I mean, he's realised where things are shifting now. He needs to deal with those Tigers, and so he shifted away from those Scots to sort of get the Jackson a bit more of a strong presence here. Still, both sides very low in infantry. The only advantage here, currently bigger one, besides the artillery, is the fact his crews can self-repair the armed vehicles, of course. DevM has absolutely none of that luxury. None of that.
Stuka fragmentation bombers now available.
"49 kills here. Pack 40 cleared out, tragically. DevM, again, extremely short on infantry, is overextending whatever he can. And the Scots are just tearing apart everything that isn't armoured. And he got the rifle squad there, but now Wadzo has no infantry. He's got the Major. Tiger still need repairs. And we're seeing a second Jackson here arriving. This is not good. Oh, and he got the sniper. He got the sniper. Finally getting a second Pioneer unit though, and some responses there to the both sides units doing a lot of nasty things to them. For the Americans it's the snipers, for the Germans it's those Stuarts. No, not Stuarts, the Scots. They refer to as Scots. Stuart, what's the other one? So yeah, bit of fun there, but definitely not your usual fight. Both sides basically worn themselves down in terms of infantry. And again, I mean, he's constantly laying down those airstrikes. Well, in fact, I mean, certainly the improved American airstrike is quite grand. Oh, looks like some paratroopers are called in. No. No, that was a reconnaissance move right here. And there we go, Jackson zones up there, good hit on the Tiger. Scott's opening up on the MD-42. And there we go, Jackson attacked from the other side as well. Tiger exposed from the rear. Oh, scheiße. bad news there. I don't think they'll be making it back to Germany. It's one Tiger out of control, down to one. And this is pretty much GG. Tiger gains victory 2, but not before that. Jackson gains victory 3, and the Pioneers getting shadowed there by the Scott barrage. And there you go. Tiger down, Tiger down.
The territory is out of contact.
And GG, GG. Very close fight here between two players. Very close fight here on Languedoc scale. I mean, both were extremely short on infantry by the end of things. Very rare to see that by the end. I mean, once so it sort of built up a slightly more flexible force. DevM was also sort of hooked up on the Tigers. The problem was to a certain extent, I mean, a few mistakes were made there sort of throughout the game, which overall lent things a bit towards him. He was getting too reliant on the support as well, and that rather also put them into the pressure point where they were rather getting murdered. Also, to an extent, Wiseau had benefited from having his doctrine out choice earlier, which overall gave him a bit more initiative compared to DevM, who chose his very much reactively, and he didn't play it to the full extent, like for example with Orbital Blitzes or Field Officers sort of maybe supported a bit better. I mean, I think that could do certainly as well good. A part of me would also like to see him take up and at least maybe get a Stug, maybe a Panzer IV or something, maybe an Ostwind before getting the Tiger. I think that could maybe also done a bit more. He was also a bit too keen as the game progressed in just head-on assaults. There's very little flanking, very few attempts at maneuvering, and I certainly also felt like his force lacked a mortar sort of plus artillery pressure, in particular as he was sort of laying down here, and that was really some good mortar targeting there that could have been useful, but sadly it never came. Instead, it was Wiseau who got the artillery, and we saw he really sort of blasted DevM apart in the longer run here. But also, I mean, in the end, he made some good choices as well with shifting crews and such. So, I mean, well played by both. But in the end, you know, Wiseau, probably for having played companies too long, of course, had the slight upper hand here. But some good play from both sides, and also some nice sort of strategy and tactics from both there. So, I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe to your friends, share it with everyone. And if not, you know, send in a review and provide some feedback in the comments. And this is Imperial Dane saying cheers and thank you all for watching.